For all your TCG needs, make sure to check out alphatradingcardgames.com. What's poppin', everybody? This is Saber054 on the WhimsyG Players channel. I got a request to show my Crocodile Seven Warlords of the Sea deck. Normally on my Pokemon TCG channel, I usually show deck profiles for the matches that I play. I show the deck profile first, then I show a bunch of matches. For One Piece though, I wasn't really sure if I wanted to do this because we don't have too many cards. We got a few sets and a bunch of starter decks, but if you're gonna use a mono color and a deck like this, I like to think that it's pretty self-explanatory. Most of the cards you're gonna run. We don't have that big of a variety of cards. So for this Crocodile deck, it's some standard stuff, I'd say. So first things first, why I use Crocodile as a leader? Really, it's because it's my favorite character and I really love this manga artwork. Its effect can be kind of good. I've never been a fan of effects in any TCG that are -1 at the end of the day. So this bounces a card in your opponent's hand. So it's removal, but they get the card back. It doesn't go back in the deck. It doesn't get destroyed. I wish it was, maybe it had a bigger cost, but then you get rid of the card altogether. In the future, what we need for this card to become better is maybe blue cards that when on their field, they give this card a better condition. Like it increases the level of the cost of the cards you can bounce. So it bounces a character of a cost of 5 or less. Maybe we have some dude on the board that makes it when you bounce cards, you increase the level by 1, so we can bounce a character that's 6 or 7. It would have been better. But mid to late game, when you're filled with your Dawn cards, and you can use this because you're going to get the 2 Dawn back at the start of your turn anyway, then it's a decent effect sometimes. So that's pretty much the only benefit it has over other blue leaders. I don't really like Flamingo that much anyway. The fact that I gotta use him to get cards from my deck and then they come rested and stuff. I'd rather keep things simple, so go for the Crocodile, plus I like him better. So that's our blue leader. Our biggest guy is this Dracul Mihawk 9009, and then it spins a card back in your opponent's deck, but it has to be a cost of 7 or less. Now, the effect is good, even if it has limitations on the cost. The problem is this guy's attack. I mean, for 9, just being 9,000, I don't think is that good when you got like Big Mom and Kaido. You know, for similar costs, they got a lot more attack and they've got broken effects too, so I think that's not too great. There is a blue Kaido that's stronger, that costs 10, but it bounces cards and I don't like that. I want to spin cards. I want them to go back in the deck at least. So this guy does that. It doesn't have a hand effect like a counter, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? I only do 2 because a lot of times you probably don't want to play him. When you play him, it takes up almost all of your Dawn cards. Probably the only thing you're going to play if you use this. And I like playing multiple cards. I have ways to grab cards back, so that's the point. And I want to have multiple characters on the board and blockers, so a lot of times you don't want to use this dude, or you know, if it's in hand, I mean, he's kind of dead anyway, can't be used as a counter. So just 2, because we need to have a few boss characters. Then I got 2 of the Flamingo, the blocker. This card is okay. I used to run more, but I decided I'm going to run some different stuff as opposed to this guy. I used the Pacifista and Kuma engine. It is okay, you know, for the cost is a blocker. The arrange effect, the arrange cards on your top of your deck, I don't really care about it, but I guess it's helpful. Helps you draw something specific because we don't have a lot of, you know, draw power and consistency, search your engines in One Piece. Well, at least in this deck. Other decks have multiple ones. So it can be kind of handy, but I mean, it's mostly because it's a 3 cost, it's a blocker, is Seven Warlords of the Sea card, so we can recover it and search it too. So have it. Sometimes it's good, you know, that 4,000, you'll be able to block some stuff and kill some stuff too if they attack with some weaker dudes, and then, you know, they put down cards, attack with the weaker dudes, then you can kill them with this guy, so it can be kind of good. Then I do 4 of Bartholomew Kuma. Now, we don't have too many tricks, at least in my opinion, for the blue color that I can get behind. But we got this guy that when he dies, you can play a Pacifista from your hand. And, you know, as far as One Piece is concerned, this is a strong effect because playing cards, you pay costs. So even though you don't get the free dudes from the deck like Yu-Gi-Oh, it's still pretty good. It's pretty much a +1 in a way. You get a card, even if it's from your hand. It's still nice. So if you see these dudes together, you want to play this dude and get the benefits, play a free Pacifista. There's another one that's a blocker with less attack, but I'd rather use this one, higher power. And especially if you play against something like Whitebeard, you need all the power you can get. You need stuff that can attack that guy because your leader is always going to be almost useless against Whitebeard. That guy is so broken. I mean, anyway, let me just not digress. So 4 Pacifista, this one, and then 4 of the Bartholomew Kuma. And this guy is a blocker too, which is nice. Then I've got the sexy Boa Hancock. I really like this card. It's one of the few cards that can give us a card advantage if we set it up right. You put a Dawn card, and then when you block or attack, you draw 1 card. So if you can start doing this effectively and keeping your hand thin so you can reap her benefits, your opponent is going to try and get rid of her as soon as possible. Her stats are pretty good actually for the effect. I mean, it's 4 for 5,000. She's a blocker and lets you draw cards. I mean, it's pretty good. One of the best cards for blue. So we definitely want to run 4 of her. Sometimes when you are going to have big hand sizes and you kind of let your opponent kill your life, she doesn't, I mean, she's not really going to help you. It kind of conflicts. If you have a big hand, you can't really use her effect. But she's still pretty good. We got to run her. Okay. Then I got Crocodile here. Now this guy is not a Seven Warlords of the Sea. Is Baroque Works, former Baroque Works and Impel Down as its traits. But it's still a 7,000. I like vanillas, to be honest, just keeping things simple. Just get big guys on the board and then using different cards to maintain card advantage. That's how I do things for this deck. So max this dude out, pretty nice. And then we also max out the Gecko Moria. This is my 6,000 vanilla. He is 7 Warlords of the Sea, and that's good as well. You can't recover him with the other Gecko Moria, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's still good. And it's something else that, you know, it can attack Whitebeard, and then when you attack other leaders, they obviously got to ditch some stuff if they want to. They got to ditch more cards if they want to block the attack or use a counter that's 2,000 basically. So that's why it's good. Another vanilla blue. And then Dracul Mihawk. This is gonna be our, I guess, more consistent of our bigger guys. Is almost as big as Mihawk, the super rare one, but it only costs 6. Doesn't have an effect. It's a plain card like the other ones, but it's pretty good. 7 Warlords of the Sea. Tough card. It's going to be using it to kill our opponents, most of their own cards. So you got to have it. Then I got 3 of the Bartholomew Kuma, the Searcher. This is one of, well, might be the only Searcher of the deck actually. It annoys me. Other colors have amazing Searchers, and then we only have this guy. He's 3,000 for 3. That's not so good. I mean, it would have been standard if they didn't come out with things like Buggy, 1 cost 3,000. Like, dude, are you kidding me? And he's a Searcher, and he can't be killed by Slash. So, yeah. But it's an on-play effect. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, reveal 7 Warlords, and grab that. Then you can put the other one at the bottom or at the top. Now, he does have a counter effect too, giving you 1,000 in the hand. But, I mean, Buggy is just so much better. There's just other Searchers that are so much better. But we still got to run him. If you don't play first and, at your second turn you got 3, you can play it down. A lot of the times, mid to late game, I never want to play this dude, even though he gives me a search, because he's going to be kind of useless on the board. You can't put like a couple of done cards on him and he can attack, but it depends on what my opponent is doing. If they got a bunch of cheap characters, and that's what they do, they have a bunch of cheap characters and they like to put done cards on them, like Nami and Buggy and I guess other ones, then we might use them to kill him over. But if they got like big dudes, just playing this dude down and then he can't kill anybody, I gotta put down cards so he can attack a leader. It's just not worth it. So if I don't see him early at the start of the game, then I'm gonna use him as a counter most of the time. Sometimes, I mean, if it's the only thing you can play to get a bunch of different, to make use of your down cards the best way, I'm gonna play him just to get that search anyway. But if I don't, if I have better plays to make, I'm not gonna play him. Then we got Edward Weevil. Seeing this card frustrates me once again because Perospero, they got, for yellow, they got Perospero. It's a 3 cost, 5,000. It's got a floater effect. Plus, he has a trigger effect to play the dude pretty much for free. You just gotta discard a card and you get a 5,000 dude on the board. I mean, for us, we just got this guy plain, and he just has a counter 1,000. Yeah, but I mean, nevertheless, he's still a blue dude, 5,003, which is nice. 7 Warlords of the Sea, and he's a 3 cost, so it's the best one. It's better than this dude, I'd say. I can use him mid to late game, and it can't be useful against most leaders that are 5,000. So, yeah, max him out. Then I've got 2 of the other cool Crocodile, I guess. I think this is manga artwork as well. Hollow one from the starter deck. It's a blocker, it's 5, it's 6k. It's good, it doesn't have a counter effect. The unblock effect, sometimes, very rarely, I find it useful. But then at least it puts the character back in the deck. So if you spin something with a low cost from your opponent, it's going to go back in the deck at least. So that can be nice. But I have him as another blue guy. You know, 7 Warlords of the Sea, blocker, 6k. I mean, there's only so many of the other dudes we can run. So gotta run this dude as well. Really the only problem is that I can't ditch him in the hand, from the hand. That's it. Then I've got Gecko Moria. This is possibly the strongest card and what, to me, makes blue good, or this sort of deck good. Card advantage is always king in almost every card game, all card games really. And this is the dude that helps us in this regard in this deck. So you play this dude on play, it's 4 or 5,000 standard stats, and then you get a free card from your trash bag in hand, as long as it's a play cost of 4 or less, and it's a 7 Warlords or Thriller Bark Pirates. Now you can't get Gecko Moria, so you can't get this guy or this guy, but nearly every other card is fair game. So you definitely want to max this out, too good. Use it at the right time, recover good things like Dracul Mihawk, I mean, maybe Boa Hancock. I mean, even the smaller guys, if you get them, if you have to get them, rather than just get nothing, it's good. But ideally you want to grab Mihawk and maybe Boa Hancock. If we have to use her and don't really gain her effect and she dies, we can get her back with this dude. So possibly the best card in the deck. Like if it wasn't for this card, this deck wouldn't be any good, I'd say. Then Mihawk, this guy's pretty much here because it's one of the only few plus 2,000 counters we got for blue, and is a 7 Warlords of the Sea. That's about it, so you max him out. I never want to summon this card. I always want to have it and ditch it as a counter. So that's pretty much the point. So you keep this as your hand trap, recover it with Moria. That's pretty much it. I don't really care about the draw 2 and then trash 2 cards from my hand. I don't see much point in that. And you got to put a done card on it too. So yeah, just use it as a hand trap. Talked about the Pacifista already. I mean, just 4. Man is a counter too. And then 3 of the Boa Hancock. That's blocker, the only trigger god I got. And that's it. I mean, attack is low, but that's because she's a blocker and a trigger. I mean, other cards in other colors are better, but that's what we got. If you can get this on the triggers, on the shields, life, whatever, then it's obviously a good plus. If it doesn't end up there and I have it in hand, I usually use it as a counter. But sometimes you do want to play, get a bunch of blockers to give yourself some defense, even if it's not really strong, 1,000 power. But that's all I got. I mean, I did have, what was it, Sables, I think. I think that's what it is called. It's the one that bounces a card back. It's like this guy's effect, but better. If you get it on the life trigger, it's strong. But then if I have it in hand, I never want to play it. So I got rid of cards like that. There's a few other cards you can do, like Melo Melo Beam, Melo Melo, however you say it in Japanese. You can try those. There's a few ways you can build the deck. I did go a couple of different variations until I ended up with this one, and then I never changed it right now. So this is a deck. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's kind of standard. We need more cards to come out so that I can get more creative and yeah, get more variety of cards to do stuff with. What we need if this guy's going to remain good going forward, or remain at least solid, because he's not one of the better leaders. I think it's yeah, nobody competitive really utilizes this guy. If they're going to use blue, they would use Don Flamingo and build the deck differently. But for this guy to become better, you need like some sort of character, like another Crocodile, let's say. Like when it's on the board, it says every time you spin a card, you bounce a card, increase the cost by 1. Kind of like how the Black Navy decks work with Kuzan and Garp. You know, they decrease your play cost, and then they play cards that kill low play cost creatures, and then they kill your guys. So we need shit like that for Crocodile too. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. What